I mean, wicked can just be more than just a word, a descriptor word. Like it can be an
An
actual
adjective.
noun.
Barding. Ah.
These
I don't know
things.
any of these things besides
How
Bree's
do you
hockey
how do you
journey.
We got our first hater the other day.
shout out to my dad?
That made me mad. Now I'm triggered.
Oh, and god damn it. What a pro wants. What a pro wants.
I got this covered, guys.
Thanks, Dean. Take it from here, Dean. You're the leader now.
Oh, I'm the leader.
No.
I
Well,
don't know.
you don't have to.
Dean Loves Hockey podcast.
Yeah, welcome back to the Bread Loves Hockey podcast, episode 64. I just checked because I was like, what episode are we on?
Yeah.
64 is the number.
How'd that
And
feel?
I am feels great.
There you go.
I'm the leader now, and I am kicking it off by telling you about the Bruins game I went to last night. I'm going to actually put in a little something right here. Downtown Denver, where the Bruins take on the Avalanche on this stormy Wednesday night. This is what I had going on for my outfit. And here is my view from the seats. Took a little video here. There are a good amount of Bruins fans. Got there nice and early so I could catch the warm-ups. But game ended up being delayed, so I was there extra early. This is a video, not mine, but from later in the game. And just look at all that black and gold in the stands. Beautiful sight to see. Here's that commercial that we've talked about on the podcast before. Now I feel like I see it like 5 times a day. So I mentioned the start time was delayed, and that was because the game before, also broadcast on TNT, was running late. But the cool part was they were showing it on the Jumbotron here, so got to watch the Pens game for a little while. And here we are at the start of warm-ups. I got to see Matt Steinberg's rookie skate for the Avs out there all alone, first one on the ice. And then Corpusalo, first one on for the Bruins. I didn't know it was a game time decision, so I didn't know which goalie was starting. So got to find that out in real time. Then you got Pasta over here rocking the no bucket look. Love that. I didn't quite catch this in time, but Max Jones was doing some bar curls with his stick to get dialed in for the game. And then we got the end of the warm-ups here. Marchand was the last one off the ice as usual. I was a big fan of the overlay on the Jumbotron. They had like the players on the ice and how much time they've been on. They showed their speed sometimes. Also on the right side you had like leaderboards, so at some points it would have the person with the hardest shot, and then there was also team comparisons, and then at the top it would show the save percentage, face off percentage, things like that, or other times it would have the player's time on ice there as well. But pretty cool. I also got this drink called Neutral. Not a sponsor, but I'll give them a shout out because it's pretty good. Vodka seltzer with real juice, and they had this nifty little resealable lid, so props to them. Here's a random video of Swayman just chilling on the bench. Obviously sad I didn't get to see him start, but Corpusalo killed it, so it was all good in the end. Got some live music during some of the commercial breaks, and these guys absolutely killed it. In the concourse, we have Oscar here. He was a AI that helped you recycle. You just hold up your can or whatever to the camera, and it tells you where to put it. Getting back to some hockey-related things, this was the start of the third period here. I didn't realize this was a thing, but I guess everyone puts their flashlights on for the Avs coming onto the ice. Beecher scored the empty netter to make it 5-3 with 2 minutes left. We got to watch all the Avs fans leave. Bye-bye. And finally, we had the 3 stars at the game. Only one Bruin, but despite what it looked like from the amount of Bruins fans, we were in Colorado, so what are you going to do? So Brendan and Sandroni will have to watch this to get all that, but besides what you just saw, other notes. We score on the power play, which is awesome because our power play sucks. Um, it was obviously a great game. We won 5-3. Close game. Well, close game at points, not close game at other points, then a close game again.
Yeah.
But
Who'd they
I feel like
play?
what?
Who'd they play?
The Avs.
The Avs.
Yeah, I watched it here.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was really good like puck movement by both teams. I feel like a lot of Bruins games, there's like just kind of clogging neutral zone, like pucks bouncing, but there's like a lot of like setting up and actual like offensive plays, which was fun. Um, the Bruins seem to do that more than the Avs, but there were a lot of like scary moments. I don't know if
Oh,
you watched
yeah.
any of the game, Brendan, but like right off the bat, there was like a partial breakaway for the Avs, and
Yeah, it was like I think it was Miles Wood because he was one of the players that I think was born in New York. I think. So I was like
okay.
kind of watching him to see if he was gonna score. This is for one of my hat trick questions. I made all the questions about the Bruins game because I knew Dean was going. Just a little more fun that way. And I was like, oh, here we go, it's over. And then he just barely wasn't able to score. I was like, ooh, this is a good game already. That was like
Yeah.
not even like 4 or 5 minutes in, probably.
And yeah, my view was great.
Look good.
I've been
that
to Ball
was.
Arena before, but not for a hockey game. So, I mean, they did a good job with all the presentation and stuff like that. I feel like they play a lot of like rock and punk music, which I thought was nice. Like their DJing was very good. They had some like live music too in between. Like they had like a band playing and stuff. So cool. For the first period, there was a fan behind me, an Avs fan, that was basically like whistling anytime anything happened for the Avs, like
Ugh.
icing against the Bruins, whistled. Like the puck got cleared out, not even on like a penalty kill, just got cleared out, like whistling. It was so loud, and then they didn't show up for the second or third period. So I'm like, eh. I don't know what happened to them, but
Things just work out
things
sometimes,
just work out.
especially for
Yeah.
Dean.
All
Um,
whistled out.
Yeah, I got all whistled out in the first. He was also complaining about whatever, and there was like an icing, and he was like, "How is that offside?" And I was like, gonna say something, but I was like,
Yeah,
I'll just leave it. It's, like,
I
it's not
always
worth it."
I always wonder like if what my limits are for what I'm gonna say. Like I've definitely like spoken to a couple fans before about things. I'm like,
But
yeah,
like, yeah, they're trying to learn the game or whatever. But he was like angry and confident about like, and being absolutely wrong at the same time. And I was like, okay,
forget it.
yeah.
Lost cause.
Um,
Yeah.
well, I mentioned this in my video that you guys don't get to see until later. But lots and lots of Bruins fans, probably like at least a third, maybe more. I sent you that Twitter video.
Yeah, I had
Just
seen that. That was crazy.
crazy.
It's a bunch of
Lots of
Bruins
people with
fans.
Happy Gilmore jerseys.
Those are
Um,
pretty popular, aren't they?
yeah, yeah. I think the at least of players that like, I recognize. I don't know either if they were just really old players or custom jerseys, but like of players I knew, the like most rare find I guess would be like a Tyler Sagan jersey. I was like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I was like cool.
Yeah, I like
I went
stuff
with
like
my
that.
I went with my Bergeron jersey.
I was wondering which one
Um,
you were wearing.
yeah, I'm getting my Centennial one customized right now for Pasternak because I want one with the current player. So I don't know when exactly I'll get that, but I just sent it out, so probably not too soon. Um,
Good pick.
Other random stadium observation in the bathrooms, the paper towels not automatic. Big win there. Don't have to wait there doing the thing. You just grab as many as you need.
Go, 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 go,
You
go.
just get in there, get out.
Yeah,
Hoarding them.
Great job. Great planning.
yeah. I guess I never really thought about the implications as far as like holding up the line like after you're
I
washing
mean,
your
I guess if you
hands.
think about it, the line is probably just for the toilets. Like once you pass the toilets, it's like you're not really waiting for like the sink or the whatever. I forget. There's like
Usually
some
not.
NBA owner that was like super excited about having like the most toilets in his uh arena or whatever, like expanding it. He's like, "We want you in your seats, not waiting in line at the bathroom."
That is,
Uh,
you got to appreciate an owner
yeah,
It's a
who really
press
cares.
report.
he was
Yeah,
very excited about it too. I forget who it was. I'm
that's
sure
the
you'll
fan
probably look it
experience
up.
right there. That's so nice.
Yeah. But yeah, Bruins win 5-3. It was 4-3 until like the last 2 minutes to get an empty net goal. So the last 2 minutes was a lot less stressful. Um, Other thing of note was Marchand was hurt, but Monty said after the game that it was just like a spasm, so he'll be okay.
That's good.
Um, I think besides that, all the other good stuff was in my little video that I just made. So you two check it out.
All right. Did they play all the small things? They pretty much always do that now, don't
I
they?
don't think they did actually.
Hmm.
But
Probably good to
like,
give it a little breather.
yeah, yeah, because there was no like sing along or anything. Unless it was during intermission when I wasn't like at my seat. But yeah, I don't think so. Oh, and then the other Bruins slash Avs things I'm just going to talk about while we're here. Um, the Bruins fourth line, Kaslik, Kepke, and Beecher have outscored their opponents 8-0 in their 35 minutes of 5-on-5 time together this season.
That
So
yeah,
pretty cool.
I heard that they were
And
good, but that's like, I
yeah,
mean,
they've been killing it.
probably not sustainable for a fourth line, but still.
Probably not, but we'll enjoy it while it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, and Georgiev is at minus 9.5 goals saved above expected after about 9 periods of play. Because he was pulled in the first 2 games, I think. I don't think he got pulled in the third because like we can't pull him 3 games in a row.
Yeah, jeez.
Didn't get pulled last night, but yeah. And the final thing, the Avs have the #1 power play in the league and the 32nd penalty kill. That also probably helped with the high scoring game
Yeah,
last night.
yeah,
Like they
probably.
scored on at least 2 of their power plays. Um, and I mean they were fine goals, but like yeah, obviously their offense is very good.
That yeah, I'm surprised that they're literally dead last for penalty kill, but
Yeah.
I mean it's still early. But I also when your goalie's playing terribly, you're gonna let in more power play goals. Like if he's just not saving anything, that's when you're most vulnerable, obviously. So
Mhm.
I guess that makes some sense for how the team's been playing because they're still winless to start the season.
Yep. 0 and
Which
4.
okay, not many people were expecting that. And I saw no 0-4 teams to start the season have ever won the Stanley Cup. So maybe this is a curse. Maybe it's like, well,
I
time for something to change. Like I mean, it's only been what like 100 years of cups or whatever. So
also think about how many decent like playoff teams have started 0 and 4 ever. Like
yeah,
probably not many.
probably not. Even like Edmonton last year, I don't think was that bad to start,
Yeah.
and they didn't win the cup either.
There's
Pretty
probably a team
close.
that was like 1 and 7 that maybe won the cup or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Weird stat to kind of cherry pick. I feel like.
Oh yeah. But I gotta still mention it though,
Yeah.
just for fun.
I
But
guess
it's tough.
we'll wrap up the Bruins talk by talking about their 100th anniversary jersey that they announced today. Um, it's more yellow than their normal jerseys. They brought back the yellow socks too, which I was always a fan of. I've gotten used to the black ones too, but I like the yellow sleeving. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good picture in this video. Okay, here we go. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. What are
I
your
like
thoughts, Brendan?
I like them too. Yeah, it's like very similar to the home jersey that they wore last year, but instead of the gold, it's more like a traditional yellow, and the logo is a little bit different. I think that's like a great logo. That was what they were kind of using as their home logo last year for the Centennial season, but they never wore it like on a jersey, so they put it on for this one-off jersey they're gonna wear on December 1st against the Montreal Canadiens, because I guess December 1st, 2020 or 1924 was when they played their first game against the Maroons. Obviously, they're not around anymore, so Montreal Canadiens, because basically the same.
I don't know how I feel about the pants. They're obviously like old school, but they look like almost like amateur. They just have
They're a little different, yeah.
like very black on the front and just like the logo at the bottom. And
Yeah,
then someone else pointed out on the gloves that like that one little yellow part of the glove. like, but I mean, it kind of gives you that old school feel. It's like a mix of modern and old, and like, I guess it worked. I'm not gonna buy it, but like, it's cool.
Well, you're not gonna get the gloves anyway. Oh no, you're talking about the sleeves.
No, well, the gloves, that little yellow patch on the gloves, but just overall the jersey, I'm not gonna buy
Oh,
either.
okay, yeah. Um, it does. I did you see in the little video there? They do have a little bit of gold and like the tag that's on the bottom. It just says like 100 in like gold. Like,
No, I didn't see that. I
okay,
didn't
just
watch
throw it.
the whole video,
Yeah, and they
but
have like a little. They have like
oh wait, yeah, there
four
it is.
words at the bottom, like
Yeah,
grit
like
and
tradition. Oh, here we go.
yeah.
Tradition, grit, passion, heart.
It's like you're never probably gonna see that, but it's kind of cool, I guess. Still, it's like weird
Do
placement.
you feel like they're stealing your color as a Knights fan, Brendan?
I'm not. I'm
The
not
gold.
I'm not offended.
You're not offended?
No.
Okay.
Hey, we
Because
did gold first.
Buffalo uses gold a little bit too. Well, they have in
A
the
little
past
bit.
with that 50th anniversary jersey, and I mean the Senators use gold, and yeah, I mean like I said, the Bruins used it last year for the Centennial jerseys. Well, not the alternate one, but the main two, the home and away.
But it's in your name. You kind of own it.
Who owns the color blue? Is it the Blues or is it the Blue Jackets?
I
That's
feel like the blues, you're literally named after the color.
but they're
named
not
after
really
it.
named after the color.
It's named after the music. The Blue Jackets are
Nope.
named after the clothing.
There you go.
And clothes are blue. So
Yep.
I think we just got our answer. Even though there's like how many teams in the league have blue as their primary color, or like at least a big part of it, like I don't know, 8. It's gotta be a lot.
They're all screaming.
Oh, maybe the next new team won't be blue. I'm still hoping that Utah slightly changes up the color, but they're not going
Okay.
to. They're going to use the mountain blue, which is it's fine. I mean, it's pretty limited in the capacity that they're using it right now, so I'm not like super used to it, but they don't like again, I don't think the jerseys look bad on the ice or anything. They don't blow us away. We've touched on this plenty, but they are doing actually really well too.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the standings?
Yeah, because things are like they normally are, a little strange in the first couple of weeks. Still kind of figuring things out. Bad teams overachieving a little bit, good teams underperforming, maybe with some hangovers from long playoff runs.
They were back in the Atlantic to the top 4 being the normal top 4 of the last decade.
Back to where they should be.
Yep.
With I think is it the Leafs that are at the top of rankings right now.
Yeah, you have Toronto, Florida, Boston, Tampa. I think,
That's pretty typical.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess basically I would just be saying what my preseason predictions were, but like I think Detroit's not going to end up last. They're one of the teams that is starting slow, but like
Unlikely, I would say, yeah.
but there are some Detroit haters out there, Owen.
Well, you know what? He might say that they would finish last, honestly. He might.
Yeah.
And they're last in the conference too. They're not just last in the division. I mean, they're tied with Columbus and Carolina and Washington, which is like okay.
Yeah. Well, Carolina's another surprise, 1-1.
Yeah.
But
No, they
only
just
played 2
played
games.
less games than everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
like
with Tampa.
not worried. Yeah, same with Tampa. They're playing their 3rd game tonight. Obviously, with some of the real life hurricane issues going on, these teams have been having some of their games postponed. But yeah, and then I think so. New Jersey has played the most games. It looks like they played 6 games. Buffalo has played 5 games, and that has not worked in their favor so far. Yeah, they're sitting at 1-3-1. So
And we'll get to that.
yeah, that's a whole other beast, as I'm sure
Yeah,
Sandroni's
we'll have to get to
well aware.
that.
But then in the Metro, we got New Jersey, Pittsburgh, and the Rangers at 1, 2, and 3. Pittsburgh, it's like, oh, it's a little weird, but they've also played 5 games, so
Yeah. In the Metro, it's really just Carolina that's like out of place.
yeah, yeah, I would say so. Everything else is
But
like pretty much what you'd expect.
that's because they only played 2 games,
Right.
Carolina. So we got a hodgepodge here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one
No
and
one's-
one, so it's not
Yeah.
like they could be, 2 points higher, but still, it's only 2 games in. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Central with Utah being 3-1-1 is a bit of a surprise. And then obviously Nashville 0-3, Colorado 0-4, like the big ones, especially with all the acquisitions Nashville made. And Avalanche they're just a good team normally. So
They are
that's all
pretty.
goaltend their issue.
Yeah, and they're like pretty beaten up too. Like they have a lot of guys that are injured right now. I think they have like 4 or 5 top or of their normal like top 6 guys or like top 9 guys that are out. Plus Devon Taves is out too.
They had 2 guys get hurt last night too. They had like a 5-minute major that they reviewed that didn't end up being a penalty, but it's like some weird injuries.
Oh yeah, I think one of those guys. I don't remember who it was. Like yeah, got hurt in that game, which I think it was Wood actually.
Maybe.
Have to double check that, but yeah, that's a big reason for them. I don't really know what's going on with the Predators though. Like why are they 0-3? That
Someone needs to take away a concert or something so they can get motivated.
like all right, we're doing this again.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna work at the very start of the season, but sure. We didn't have anything planned yet, but who wants to go to Disneyland? Oh, I do. Well, it's canceled. It's canceled. Now get out there and win some freaking games.
And then in the Pacific, we got Calgary 4-0 as everyone expected.
That's
They
why
were
I'm
like one of
wearing
the few
Calgary.
teams that were like everyone was like, oh, they're going to be one of the worst teams this year.
Oh, for sure. Like I was definitely thinking they could honestly be bottom of the Pacific, like maybe better than San Jose, maybe better than Anaheim, but that's like
bottom
it.
4 in the league.
Yes, for sure. Like
Mhm.
they're so young. They have an inexperienced goalie tandem right now, and it's just kind of unbelievable. I don't really know. I don't think they've had like a super tough schedule. But they played Edmonton. I think they played Vancouver as well.
Edmonton hasn't had a hard schedule and they haven't won.
Yeah, they're 1-3. And that game went to overtime. I think that they won too. But yeah, Calgary is definitely like the biggest weird story right now, besides maybe Colorado or Nashville.
I don't know why, because like last year I didn't do this, but I feel like I'm already like, oh no, my preseason bracket's looking terrible. I'm like already overreacting. I'm like, I have the Red Wings as a wild card.
Yeah, no, we're definitely
The
not.
Oilers are supposed to win this year.
Right. I'm sure for some Oilers fans it already feels like that.
Oh.
Like, season's over, forget it, and then they win a couple games. Like, I love the Oilers. I've always loved them. It's like you gotta measure, temper your expectations a little bit, or like measure your emotions a bit. Because yeah, it's a little weird. But
Looks like there's 3 teams that are undefeated.
yes,
There.
Tampa I think is still undefeated.
No. Was Tampa?
Yeah, they're playing right now, but they're
They
2-0.
are still undefeated. I
Although
missed over.
Barbashev
Then there's
just
4
scored.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Winnipeg and Dallas are both undefeated.
Mhm. And Calgary. as you
Calgary.
mentioned.
So yeah, Calgary's like the like the 3-headed dragon meme, and there's like the 2 serious ones, and then the one sticking his
Yeah.
tongue out.
So you said Calgary, Dallas, Winnipeg, and
Tampa. And you
Which
could
of those
argue even that
4
Winnipeg shouldn't be there, but I don't know.
Which of those four do you think is the last to lose? Dallas is probably the obvious answer, right?
I mean, it could just be Tampa because they played less games, but they are losing to Vegas right now. So I think I would probably have to go with Dallas.
I feel like Winnipeg would be like the hot pick, though. They've only allowed 2 goals in their 3 games, and they've scored 10.
They're just unlucky, though. Like the franchise, just like they don't do anything special. I mean, they did a little bit last year with that huge run, where they were allowing 2 or fewer goals in, like, what is it, 29 games, 30 games, or whatever. But
Calgary scored 19 goals in 4 games.
okay, that's actually pretty damn good.
They've allowed.
Yeah,
10.
they're my pick.
Okay.
For if we're all picking teams.
All right, Sandroni's locking in Calgary. He's a believer.
Oh yeah,
You
I
said
love
Dallas,
a good run.
and I'll go Winnipeg, so we all have different ones.
Sorry, Tampa.
Well, I mean,
But screw
Tampa's
you,
gonna
you're
be
losing.
one.
Tampa's losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pick anyone, pick someone that's winning.
We're gonna come back and win this game now.
Are any of the other teams playing tonight? I think Dallas.
Maybe later.
I think Dallas just played last night, or maybe
Dallas is
not.
playing the Caps right now.
Oh,
They're
okay.
up 1-0.
All right. I'm liking my pick then. Although that's a pretty tenuous lead.
Yeah.
And
No,
then,
no Calgary or Winnipeg tonight.
okay, so they hold on for a little bit longer.
Calgary doesn't play for a bit, so.
Oh, Caps just
Winnipeg
tied
for
it
me.
up.
Sharks tomorrow. So
Oh, do they
hopefully-
play tomorrow?
Winnipeg does. They play the Sharks.
Oh, that one might be a good pick then.
Or the Sharks get their first win and the Jets get their first loss in the same game.
It's true.
Yeah, Calgary doesn't play till Saturday. I'm liking my pick. Scheduling.
I didn't even consider that angle. Yeah, Caps just tied it up with a Tom Wilson shot. So that's going into the start of the second period. And yeah, the Sabres are currently losing to the Blue Jackets, down 2-0.
Oh, the Caps
Yeah,
literally
we
just
know.
tied it.
Yeah, pretty
Like
recently.
seconds ago.
It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think it's time to talk a little bit about how the Sabres season has started.
The deep dive.
However difficult it might be for our friend here.
The first question is, don't you feel better because normally when they have a hot start, they end up doing really bad? So wouldn't a bad start be better?
Nah, everyone likes a hot start. That's not true.
You just shut that decision down, or that philosophy down.
Optimism,
Like-
right?
Would we rather they lose or win? Win.
Mm.
Well, lose now and win later, or win now and lose later?
It's looking
It's
like
not
lose.
a guarantee.
Yeah, it looks like lose now, lose later.
Lose now, lose later. Still on the table.
That's a classic Sabres
So they
setup.
don't look bad. I mean, they're not playing bad, and they're just things aren't going their way. And I think that there's hope there. It could turn around. They're playing games hard. They're aggressive, and offense has been pretty good, even though they've been losing these. The past few have been close.
Yeah, they've been like
games
shootout
and
games, and not
Yeah.
like going to the shootout,
the-
but like high
last
scoring.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last night was a big
They
one.
look good on the ice. They look good offensively, at least.
Just not in the
Yeah.
wins column.
Prague wasn't a great run, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
So they lost both of the games against New Jersey in Prague to open up the season in the Global Series. So that's not a great start. I mean, New Jersey's a good team. We all expected a hot start from them, so they're looking to prove last year was a fluke. So that's tough. It's like a tough start to go. And then they had that game against LA where it was like the first period and they had the goalie pulled because they had an offensive draw with like 2 seconds left or whatever it was, and they thought that they had actually scored on it, and then the like puck just barely didn't cross the line before the buzzer went, and that's just like, it's always a very defeating feeling. And then they lost that one by, I think it was a goal, at the end. So it's like, not good luck with this team so far.
Yeah. But Brendan had me pick up a jersey the other day, which I've come wearing.
I love the details on the buffalo.
It's pretty good. I like it. That's why I'm wearing it. And I'm
Me
going to
too.
wear it to every Sabres game until he picks it up.
Nice.
Don't eat anything with like chili or hot dog grease or.
Oh, you should have seen what I had for dinner.
You're not gonna want to look any lower than that's.
Yeah, my backside.
Little sweat stains in the
That
pits.
and something.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
He already paid me too, so no
Yep.
takes backsies.
Whoops! I should have just paid the extra like $15 to have you ship it to me. Oh well.
Yeah.
I'll get it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it at least in next
March.
year during the hockey trip. Yeah, March.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a ways away. Well, I don't know. I'll be in the area for Thanksgiving, so. But I don't know if you're gonna be there. You'll probably be
Probably
at
not.
your place, or your parents' house.
Depending on how early you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that the Darlene and Krebs like kind of fight that they had in practice?
I heard. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, Lindy didn't seem to mind it like too much. Obviously, he's like one of the oldest coaches in the league, so
Yeah,
it was kind of expected.
Old-fashioned hockey.
I think he
The
literally
tough
said,
head coach.
boys being boys. It's like,
Yeah.
yep, sounds about right.
Grit, passion.
Yeah. Darlene apologized for it. Not the way a captain should behave and all
Yeah.
that. But I think they made some sort of amends, but it's not good fighting your own teammate. And like I was thinking like what, like that wasn't a fight that's on a hockey rink surrounded by referees and people. It's something that's in practice, so I don't know how dirty it would have gotten or personal. I'd imagine it's not just dropping the gloves. You'd be something a little bit more if players aren't seeing eye to eye on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some anger, but even like in the post practice, I guess, like where they were both, like the players were asked about it, it seemed like they were also on good terms or whatever. I mean, obviously you're not gonna say anything else to the media, but like it seemed like they also didn't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, it's not the first time there's been a fight.
Lindy's
in a
just
hockey
gotten them
Yeah.
practicing fighting.
Mm-hmm.
It builds a tougher character of a team.
Yeah, but I have to
Definitely
only
need it.
I have to only tell certain players to randomly fight someone else, so the other guy doesn't expect it.
Oh yeah.
It's surprise fighting. It's a new strategy.
There you go.
Yeah,
Lindy's our guy.
There you go. I think he's taken it to the promised land with his new regimen. But I do think, yeah, it should be okay. Like he and Lindy had said in his little presser there that they're trying to practice like hard, like they're trying to have a lot of hard fought practices, not actually fighting. I don't think he's actually encouraging that, but just like you gotta battle here too, so you can win out there. We'll see if this ends up being like a good thing or not for the Sabres. So far, it hasn't been, but
Yeah, they got
been
a
tough.
really young team, and I think that's good that they're like practicing really hard. Like you wouldn't want that if you had an older team out there, but like with the younger team, you gotta like gel everyone together, and you have more energy to actually practice. So they're taking advantage of that time that they get together and intensity.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come together, and I am not worried about this start because a lot of the stuff that's been flukes, like half a second too late on the shot, or like those kind of things. They're going to come together. They're playing good on the ice, and it's going to show in the scoreboard.
Well, you
You have that
might.
optimism.
Yeah, you
It's
might be
optimism.
one of the more optimistic Buffalo fans. So good on you. Usually we have Owen, who's our resident optimist. Well, at least for like the first 3 months, and then things take a drastic turn from there. Uh, but no, that's good. That's good to hear that you still believe. It's still again October. The season started. Let's see, not even 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I think it is a little bit early to be jettisoning ourselves into the sun,
They
metaphorically
got like
speaking.
what, like 77 games left. They're going to turn it around at some point, right?
Yeah, well,
Still
that's
have a
a
two in
They
there.
beat Florida. That was a great game, and they really dominated. So,
yeah, that's good. And then so
yeah,
they blew the game against Pittsburgh last night.
yeah.
They had leads at a couple different points in that game. They were up, I think, 5-3, and they ended up losing that one in overtime, 6-5. And they had an offsides challenge not go their way, which I thought the call was incorrect. Like I thought that it should have been a good goal
Mm.
for Buffalo, or excuse me, not a good goal for Pittsburgh because it was they challenged a goal that Pittsburgh scored, and they ended up getting that one
Were
wrong.
you calling for the ref's head too,
I wasn't doing
like
that.
all of us out here? We hung him.
Oh my god. Actually, it's hanged is the grammatical.
Past tense.
Yes, exactly.
He's gone. He's not a ref anymore.
Oh my goodness. I don't think it was that egregious. It was pretty
No.
close, but I do think the right or the wrong call was ultimately made there, which is too bad. But they had opportunity, and then I don't remember if Pittsburgh scored on the ensuing power play because of the missed challenge or like the delay game penalty. I can't remember. I want to say maybe, but I mean either way, you're like it's such a deflating feeling to lose the challenge and then have to go on the penalty kill immediately afterwards. Like
Mm.
that just sucks the life out of you. So they got a point at least, but they should have had two, and now they're losing to Columbus. So got to pick it up soon, like right now,
Yeah.
preferably.
Yeah. They'll wait, and then they'll get close and miss the playoff by a point or two.
Agonizingly close. That's what we say, isn't it?
That's the game plan.
Yeah. Couple points out, give you just enough hope to maybe buy a few tickets to next season's games, and then do it all over again
Mm.
forever.
A coworker at work, she does not want them to win because it has been a great place to take the kids out for a cheap night, and they very much enjoy the games. And if they start to win, it could become like the Bills.
Yeah. I guess that is nice. It's like
Yep.
it's never too expensive to go see games there. That's why all the Toronto fans flock to any Buffalo versus Toronto games because it's cheaper to go there and see a home game versus seeing an actual home game in Toronto. I saw like some breakdown of like the average cost for a family of four to go see a game in each of the NHL cities, and yeah, Toronto was definitely up there. I think they were number one. Vegas as well. Boston was definitely up there. And then yeah, you've got like Ottawa down towards the bottom, Buffalo. I think there were a couple other ones. Well, there were. I don't remember what they were. Probably San Jose as well. But yeah, it's something you don't always think about. But I would not want to be a Toronto fan. I can tell you that for sure.
Be expensive.
Yeah, it would be crazy. and then
depressing
miserable.
each year.
Yeah, like not even factoring that part in. Just
Like,
like
I'm spending all this money.
yeah, can you
They
imagine?
lose in the first round.
Like going to Game 7, they have it in Toronto this time around. Like this is it. Spent like $2,000 on this ticket last minute. I'm gonna be in the building when they lost again to Boston. It's like, oh, that was like the worst money I've ever spent. That's why they get a big corporate crowd. I think is a big complaint of theirs is like, yeah, they just price out a lot of their real fans, even though they have like a ton of people that would go to games. So like I kind of get it because there's only so many seats in there and they want to make as much money as possible, but it does suck for the little guy. Where to next, folks?
Goalie news.
Some fun stuff.
Some fun stuff. We got to see a goalie goal.
I love a
That's the
goal.
Goalie goal.
Huh?
I just love goalie goals. I'm always a big fan.
Yep, Gustafsson scores. Sadly, it was not in Minnesota, but
Damn.
you still get to watch like the home broadcast feed and have the announcers hyped up, and it's always fun.
Yeah, I love hearing like the radio calls and stuff too.
Yeah, like always going for it. Like the excitement starts when the puck is like on their
Yeah,
stick.
it's looking good.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna make it. Oh. Yeah, it's always fun. I always love seeing the goalie do the fist bump line too. It's like, oh, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
That is good stuff.
Yeah, nothing else to add other than keep doing it. More goalie goals.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, so I think they're gonna consult me on the power play unit now. Like, that's pretty good. But
There was a power play goal, right?
it must.
And power play.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. Like a
Remember on the NHL after like two little red like squares denoting stuff.
so a 6-on-4 then.
Probably.
That's great. And Fleury obviously was super happy for him. I would like to see Fleury score a goal too, because that would be like just one more milestone for him. But he's got pretty much just this season left to do it. That'd be cool if both goalies in a tandem scored.
Seems like something Fleury would have been able to do by now. Seems like something he would try a lot, which I'm sure he does.
He has definitely tried it quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a power play goal.
Nice. I know Shesterkin scores a lot of, or not scores. He tries to go for the open net a lot. I think he will get it like one of these times, probably this season or next. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because he goes for it quite a bit, and he's got good puck handling. Again, we've talked about it a little bit before. It's been a while, but like you do kind of have to think a little bit about the puck, the stick handling level for a goalie too, besides just saving the puck. Like, yeah, how you play it behind your net and can make bank passes, like actually contribute on offense a little bit, like is really vital. So that's fun. And then Ottinger signs an identical deal to Jeremy Swayman, so he gets a 8 by 8.25 extension.
Swayman got what he wanted. He sets the market for RFAs. There we go.
Which, yeah, I know during his like press conference after he signed, everybody was kind of pressing him about some of the details, and he was like, not giving anything. Like Swayman was very like, yeah, I'm not really here to talk about that right now. I'm just excited to be back in Boston. And it's like, yeah, he definitely doesn't want to say explicitly like, yeah, that's what he was trying to do, and some other stuff with like his agent and how things were handled. He didn't really shed light on
all that.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ottinger is probably the better goalie between him and Swayman.
I disagree. I don't think I've always kind of not been like super high on Ottinger, especially like his lows are like pretty brutal. I don't think he's necessarily worth that much money, and he's think he's 34 or
Andre's 25.
at the end of the contract.
Oh.
So not
Um,
no. So he'll be 33.
Well, I guess he'll be probably 34 because I think the contract will kick in next year, right?
Yeah. So he'll be 34 at the end of the contract. But I don't know. We'll see. I could be dead wrong about it, but I don't know. I don't think he's like absolutely one of the super elite goalies. But
I
he
guess,
could
well, the
be
NHL
strong for a while.
article from before the season started had Ottinger at 8 and Swayman at 4. So I guess. You could be right. Maybe it's just because the Stars are so good.
That definitely helps. Like having a
Yeah, I guess
a good defense.
905. 272 goals against average. He was 35, 14, and 4. 3 shutouts in 54 games last season. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Sandroni? Who's the better goalie?
I don't know.
You don't know anything? You just know the Sabres, I guess.
Yep.
Well, we'll just pick a name out of a hat then.
Oof.
Yeah.
Pulled up the 2023 NHL article for top 10 goalies. Number 8, Alexander Georgiev.
Oh.
Andre was 7.
Oh.
Olmark was 6. And then Swayman's not on here.
Not ranked? That's crazy. No. He wasn't really as big back then.
What was your Olmark won the not the Selkie.
The Selkie.
I mean, hey, good goaltending is good defense, right?
Yeah. Well, that's not really what the Selkie's about, though.
Stopping pucks, you're defending the net.
I think it specifies that it's a forward, though.
Two-way, yeah.
Yeah, two-way. Well, Allmark did score a goal.
That's true.
Against Vancouver.
Probably has some assists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's probably got a couple. I do always love a goalie assist, too. Those are fun. But I think that's it for the goalie news for now. Did you guys see the recent milestones for Crosby and Malkin? 1,600 points for Crosby, which I think is 10th overall, or tied for 10th, something like that.
In the fifth fastest.
I was
player to
watching.
do it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
really
Obviously, you were watching because they were playing. They were playing Buffalo. They were definitely talking about it a little bit throughout the broadcast.
And then for Malkin's 500th, everyone cleared the bench to celebrate. So that was cool. And I think Crosby got the assist because people were saying that like Malkin had hoped that Crosby would assist on his 500th goal in the same way that he had assisted on Crosby's.
You gotta love that. Those guys are like, yeah, they're such good friends. Big bromance for sure. But yeah, I mean, these are like, just generational players, and who knows how many more seasons we're gonna have with these guys, like 3 or 4 more, and then that's probably it. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, they're both like super productive still. Crosby had that 1 year where he was out for a while. Didn't he have like a concussion issue early on in his career?
I think so, yeah.
And then I think Malkin has had some times where he was away for long periods too. So you just think, what a full season or a full healthy, career could be. But I mean, it's pretty rare to play that long and not have at least 1 or 2 semi-long-term injuries. So still cementing themselves in hockey history. Pretty cool. That's why you watch the league, folks. Gary, call me. We're promoting your league to all 20 viewers.
Historic moment that we didn't have time to talk about because it happened after we recorded last week was Macklin Celebrini's first goal. He was the second fastest first overall pick to score their first goal.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it was like
Really?
7 minutes or something into the game. Lemieux being number 1 with like 2.5 minutes in.
That one's gonna be tough to beat. And you
Yeah,
only get one chance, like
that's
every
true.
year, and that's it.
Not even every year. Just when you
Yeah,
get in. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the first overall pick gets one chance.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, not necessarily the first overall pick always plays right away, and that's like that season after they get drafted either. So yeah, it might not happen that frequently, but that's still
And
fun.
starts like as one of the first couple lines.
Yeah, like yeah, you'd also have to get out there within the first 2.5 minutes. So, and you're gonna be on a pretty bad team, of course. So, a lot of factors there.
Yeah.
Be
And the other thing with
playing a bad team.
That would help.
yeah. And then Celebrini obviously also got hurt. And I think he was put on IR, but they're saying that he should be able to come off by Friday's game against the Jets, but he won't be activated that soon. But with that, they had Will Smith playing the other night, so he's getting some time in the NHL as well.
That's good. I think that's a good reason for Sharks fans to go to games too.
Hmm.
Like let's see some of these young kids in their rookie seasons. And
Yep.
they shouldn't be as bad as they were last year. Like I think a lot of Sharks fans, despite like the record still not being great, I think they've been in some high scoring games and they haven't looked like complete trash. Like I'm not expecting them to be 32nd in the league this year. So
Well,
I don't think that they are going to be the worst team.
yeah, I can still see it.
Like I could, but
I
I
wouldn't
don't
bet
think
against
they.
it.
Well, I don't bet, but yeah,
Definitely the Oilers where they're headed. All the
Yeah.
way down there at the
Yeah.
bottom.
put it all on Oilers. I don't bet, so just
I wonder
remember
what
that.
their win the cup odds if they've dropped significantly over the first couple games.
I doubt it, especially after how last year. Well, I don't
I
know.
don't know because it's based off other people. Like betting odds change based off people betting. So like if people are all freaking out and like
Yeah, I
already
guess that's true.
closing, like if they already bet that the Oilers were going to win the cup and are already panicking and like closing those positions, then I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that could be. Now's the time, or maybe wait until like another couple of weeks when they really bottom out.
Yeah.
They haven't even seen their valley yet. I hope for their sake that there's better days to come. But as a Vegas fan, I'm loving in it. I'm reveling in it, and I know that the Flames run won't last. So just holding out that we keep getting our wins. We'll be fine. I don't think LA has
So-
been too great either.
Oilers are still favorites to win the cup, plus 800.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that changes.
Sharks are last, plus 40,000.
I wouldn't put any money on them. 31st or 30th does not mean Stanley Cup.
Calgary plus 10,000.
4-0, baby.
4-0.
Let's go. No, let's not go.
The undefeated year.
Yeah, 82 and up.
82-0.
Sandroni had a feeling.
I
There's
picked
a lot
them.
of Bruins jokes about that the other year because they started like 6 or 7 games without losing. That one year, the same with Vegas.
With Vegas, yeah.
Had really hot starts.
I think it was just last year because I think we were talking about it on the podcast.
Were we?
I'm pretty positive it was last season. That
It was soon to be 2 years ago when the Bruins won the President's Trophy.
No, I don't think so. I think it was last year.
Okay.
Well, I'll check it, audience.
Yeah.
But I forgot to mention this about the Celebrini. Did you see his goal? Was like a weird one. It was like off a defender's leg and in, deflected
He
in.
was just getting down kind of like near the board and did kind of like a spin to throw it in front, and then the defender kind of went down and just kicked it in.
Yeah. So those are always.
Goal to goal.
It's like well, gotta get the first one done, and now it's behind you. You can score a bunch of highlight reel ones after that. And
Yep.
someone was saying like, oh, that's one of like the strangest first career goals, and then somebody was like said in reply, Pavel Dorofeyev, who's on Vegas, his first goal was like off of his helmet and in. Like he didn't headbutt it, but it was like deflected off of his head and into the net. And like, yeah, that one's pretty freaking weird.
The Bruins had, I forget, one fourth liner a couple years ago, almost like Oscar Steen or someone like that, where the puck was kind of just like gonna land on top of the net. I don't know if he like scooped it off or what, but like, he kind of like batted it in. Like it wasn't a high stick because he waited long enough, but it was like a very weird goal, and that was his first. So it definitely happens, but yeah, I feel like you always dream of your first goal being like just like beauty, and then in reality it's just some whatever gross goal. But a goal is a goal.
Like, it depends on what type of, like, what style player you are. Like, if you're a
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini, you think you're like gonna win it in overtime for your team on like a breakaway wrister or something, and then maybe Oscar Steen's expectations were let me get a garbage time goal here,
Yeah,
or
guys want a goal in the NHL.
yeah, like
That's fair.
let me just get a greasy one, like just jabbing at it, net front, and hope that something sticks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure like everyone when they're like a little kid, they're like just thinking about the gorgeous Game 7 goal or whatever. Like the rookie comes in. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That would be something. But it's fun to think about.
All right, shall we head to a voicemail?
I would love to.
All right. I want to preface this. First off, new listener. This is my friend that I met in the Starset mosh pit.
Oh,
And I haven't told you this. He's such a Starset fan. He literally followed them to Europe. He's in the UK right now. Just saw them today. He's gonna see them again in Amsterdam in a couple days.
wow.
But this voicemail is a little like discombobulated because he was jet lagged. So he called at like, well, my time was like 4 a.m. But like he was like
Oh,
in the middle of the night. He's like, I'll leave a voicemail. Um, so there's the preface statement. Let me switch over here. I was gonna think about. He asked a question. I was gonna think about my answer, but I haven't really thought about it yet. So maybe I'll put Brendan on the spot first.
great.
Um, gotta find this again. Okay, here we go.
Hey, this is Brett calling up for the host of the Bread Loves Hockey podcast. And what I want to know is for each host, if you only had 3 of your favorite songs to choose to broadcast during an NHL game, you've suddenly taken over game productions at the next Avalanche game. Or a game, NHL game of your choice, what songs are you choosing? And it has to be music that you love, not specifically curated for the audience, but that fits at an NHL game. Bye.
Brendan, you're first. Actually, I
Brett.
did think of one, but
Thank you very much for the response, and for the voicemail. I have thought about this a little bit, like just on my own before, but like, oh, well, that would be a good song to like to jam out to in the arena. I think especially after if your team like had a comeback win, like they won like two or three goals down, they come back and they win the game. I think "Choke" by I Prevail would be a very good a good song. It's like a nice little metal song, and I think that would be pretty fun. Maybe a little, I don't know how explicit it is. I don't think it's like too bad, but
you have a clean version.
again, yeah, some snippets. I'd have to think about some other songs though.
All right, while you're thinking, I'll go with the first one. Also, I've thought about this question before, and this is the one that like I'm like this one for sure. I was thinking about it from a Bruins standpoint, but it could work anywhere for like an intro song. The Lonesome Boatman by Dropkick Murphys. So I work in Boston because Dropkick Murphys, but like,
Sure.
there's no lyrics, but like you have to listen to it. There's like it's just perfect intro music, like pump up, like skating onto the ice before the game. There's like chanting, like melodic chanting to it. So, like the whole crowd could get into it. I'm like,
Oh,
this song
yeah.
is perfect. So that was the first one that came to mind for me.
Any initial
Um,
thoughts, Sandroni?
I got one. I got one. So
all right.
so there's a Rochester Irish punk band that I recently found, and they're starting to get big. It's called 1916. It'd be really like pep you up music, and it'd be nice to be local because if they played it in Buffalo, it's Western New York.
Sure.
Yeah, and it'd be unique because like no one plays Irish punk at a hockey game.
Probably not. At least not
Be
over
pretty
here.
cool. Yeah, they're a good band.
The band is called 1916, or that's the song?
1916, because I think there was some sort of revolution over in Ireland then. Yeah, the band.
That's
The
cool.
band.
I
That'd
wonder if
be
I
my
could play
pick.
like a 5-second snippet of these songs without us getting copyrighted.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like the chances are not good that we would not be copyrighted, but I don't
What are they
know.
Yeah.
gonna do? Cut your funding?
Well,
Well,
that
how big is that band, Sandroni? I bet I can play.
they could ban my channel. All
Yeah.
43 subscribers would be lost, floating aimlessly on the
Okay.
internet.
We wouldn't want that.
I guess we wouldn't. But check it out if you would like. Dean, did you have any other ones that you had thought of? I'm trying to think of like
Um,
another good one.
well, the other one is one that does play sometimes, so it's kind of like a cop out. But The Stage by Avenged Sevenfold, like
Hmm.
another, like, because it's just like in between, like puck drops or whatever. It's just like the intro part with the drums and guitar. I'm like, it's just such like, it's like metal, but it's also just got that like arena rock vibe to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. You can kind of you can kind of pick it out a little bit. Like
Like
this
technical
would
enough
sound
to
good.
appreciate too.
There's probably like I've heard some Tool songs before, like in arenas, but I feel like there's a couple good Tool songs that could work pretty well. Maybe I'm sure there's other like metal songs that I listen to that would work, or maybe some of like the Blink 182 songs that are just not as popular as like all the small things. Like they have other like bangers and things that just
Yeah.
aren't like everybody knows this one. Some more deep cuts.
That was another thing. Like the when the Avs skate onto the ice, one of the intro songs was like it was like a heavy punk song. I'm like, I've heard this song before, but I don't know what it was. I'm like, oh, this is like the perfect song. So I might have to look into that too, and see what song it was. But like it was only for 10 seconds maybe, and then they like changed this. Like it was like a couple songs during their whole intro. So I don't know if I'd be able to actually find it, but I don't know, it was good.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something if that's like the same routine that they do for every home game like intro, or if they switch it
Possibly.
up. Because if
I
it
could
is the
probably find the
same,
video.
then you might be able to find it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. Yeah.
I guess since Brett asked for three, I'll at least try to give him three. When you were talking about choke, I was like, I thought you were gonna say chokehold by the summoning, and I'm like, that could work as a
Oh,
opening song too. Like, starts slow and kind of builds.
yeah, yeah, that would also be good. I'm like imagining it in my head right now, and I'm liking what I'm hearing. But
There's my
I
three
just really
then.
love that song, of course. We're both big Sleep Token fans. Sandroni too, of course. He's like,
Yes.
who?
Any other
But
songs come to mind, or is that all we got?
It's all the juice in me.
All right.
we're all
Oh,
juiced
and the
up.
other thing, I told Brett that he should come on at some point. He doesn't know a lot about hockey, but I told him I think he knows more about basketball than we know about hockey, because he
Oh,
worked for the Wizards for like a long time.
Wow.
oh, okay.
So he's got some connection. I'm like, he should come on, tell us some of the cool behind the scenes stuff, and
I
like he
can't
did.
even name you a single Wizards player.
And you actually follow
Me
basketball.
either.
Yeah. So maybe we can convince him to come on at some point.
And he'll give us the in on Ryan Smith,
Yeah. There we go.
Utah Jazz and Utah Hockey Club owner. Probably not. But yeah, that'll be fun. We're always happy to get new faces. We haven't had a new face on the show in quite some time, I think.
When's your dad coming on?
Yeah, I gotta get him back at some point. I'll have to get him in the studio because I'm not trying that laptop shenanigans again.
Yeah.
He
Your
was
dad just not as tech savvy as my dad. I get it.
Yeah, and his laptop isn't great, and apparently his internet's not very good. Because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is brutal. We had him try to come on one episode, and then he was briefly featured in the outtake. Just him like lagging incredibly bad. But we'll get him on here.
Hmm.
The audience needs Jim.
Hmm.
I wonder if my mom's gonna watch this episode.
Yeah, we appreciate the call, Brett.
Thank you. If you would like to call in, the number is on screen and it's in the descriptions either on Spotify or on YouTube. So please
And,
feel free to do it.
and we'll put you on unless it's something copyright infringing or
And
Yeah,
we'll still
not
put
a,
you
or
on.
not a good look.
Those parts.
there you go. We'll do
cut-
whatever,
it'll be a big bleep.
but it'll be your bleep.
Yep.
Or email us. We do have the email account as well. Since we're throwing out the
No one
the
has ever sent
socials.
an email. Who will be the first?
Yeah, who's gonna do it? Someone, I hope. Someone that's real and not a robot would be
Yeah, not
preferable.
just asking for our money.
Yeah. Because we are very gullible. Dean clicks on every link he gets.
Yes. So the PWHL schedule got released every single game. And it's nice going on the website and first off, already better than NHL app because you just scroll and it's just every single game in a list.
It's
So,
so
fantastic.
it's so nice.
It's beautiful.
I was like, that's the end. There it is. Like I
Yeah.
barely had to
And-
scroll.
It's cool seeing all the logos.
It's a lot more
Yeah,
real
yeah.
now.
How many games are like 70 something maybe?
They're playing 60 games, I believe. So, or it's or 90. So it's 30 games for each team.
Okay.
Yeah, every team plays every other team 5 times in the season. So bumped up from they played 24 games apiece last season. So now we're at 30. And yeah, pretty much all of the arenas and the start times are set, except for a couple placeholders for the locations because they were toying with, expanding into some other markets last year, just having other games in other markets. They had games in Pittsburgh and Detroit and I think a couple other locations last season. So I'd imagine they're going to continue to do that again this year. And yeah, for the most part, they really try to get all these games to be isolated on like their own night. There are a couple, like especially in the beginning, I think they have a triple header, or no, they have a double header
They have one
for
in
opening
April. I
night.
was looking at. They're all to be determined, but April 26th, you got all 6 teams playing, which is cool.
Yeah, so definitely pretty spread as
What's
far
that?
as games
Oh.
per night.
They have like a buy, or not a buy, like I don't know, because they have April 2nd and then April 26th.
Yeah, they have a
Nothing.
couple. They have a couple scheduled breaks. I think there's like a women's world championship. I think that's the one that's in April. There's a couple other scheduled events that they have some breaks for. But yeah, we haven't really covered a whole lot of what's going on here in the PWHL. I know the number 1 overall pick for New York still is unsigned. We've still got a little bit of time before that gets to be more of an issue. We're still, a little more than a month away. Saturday, November 30th is opening night. So,
Have we
still some time.
confirmed that it's on YouTube again?
I don't know. I don't think I have a complete confirmation on that. I was also wondering about it. I haven't seen anything saying that they won't be on YouTube, but I haven't seen anything saying they're definitely back there. But I'm not super concerned because I think that was a huge draw for them last year, and I would be surprised if they kind of immediately abandoned that after one season. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong.
I agree.
I think it would be to their detriment if they did something else.
For sure.
So, yeah, hopefully that continues because it was very easy for me to pull up games, on my
Nice.
TV, on my computer, on my phone, anywhere, and
And free.
yeah, and I have YouTube Premium, so no ads for me either.
Yeah.
Extra bonus. But I would like to get to a PWHL game as well. I doubt they're going to be playing anywhere very close to me anytime soon. But I don't know. Maybe I'll make a trip to Prudential Center, which is where the Sirens are going to be playing for a majority of this season. That could be fun. Maybe you could do like a weekend trip where the Devils play one night and then the Sirens play another night.
There you go.
I have to look if any of those align. And then Chandler and I can link up. Maybe Justin. Folklore legend around the Bread Loves Hockey podcast. He's never appeared on camera. Actually, no. I did put a picture of him in one of the episodes when he was when we took that photo on the ice in the Prudential Center.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That worked out great.
Mythical creature.
Yeah. Need a master ball in order to catch him.
Yeah.
Sandroni, did you
I don't
watch
know why I said
the Amazon Prime series?
I watched a bit of the first. I got busy. It was my homework.
It didn't draw your attention enough.
I didn't give him a lot of time either.
It did. I just didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, it was good. One thing I could see happening because it kind of upset me when like they did like Drives to Survive is they were like making up narratives and stuff like that I didn't really like.
Uh-huh.
But I hope that's not happening because I trust them.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't see it that way.
What do you guys think? Because you guys follow the game closer than I do.
Well, I had one question for you first. Do you remember what teams won the Stanley Cup this past season? Like, or is it going to be like watching this? Will you like for us? It's like spoilers. Like we know how this ends, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know how it ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know. Like, I want to talk to like a non-hockey
like the
fan
big stuff. Yeah.
that watched this and see what they think.
Yeah, I would like to know that also.
Especially the last two episodes, like the Stanley Cup final. Like, if you don't know how it's going, like, this team's up 3-0, and then the other team comes back to force a Game 7. It's like, oh, what's going to happen kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it was like with Drive to Survive. I haven't seen that, but people weren't into F1 watching that, so they didn't know, like...
Yeah. And I watched it the year before. I was like, wait, did that happen? I don't remember that. Well, it all happened, but, like, the storylines are a little... they took creative freedom.
Yeah.
I know
from what I felt.
In this, not with the narrative, but, like, I guess we can call it, like, artistic liberties. Like, not necessarily... It's, like, feels a little dishonest. Like, the one I can think of off the top of my head was when they were showing the Rangers trying to get the President's Trophy, their final game, and they cut to the crowd, and the crowd's, like, waving towels. And I'm like, that only happens in the playoffs. Like, that's not the crowd from this game. Like, they're just showing a Rangers crowd, probably from, like... It's not, like... stock images. Like, I'm sure it's from like their playoff run that year, but I'm like, this did not happen at the same time as what you're saying. Like, you're
the other thing I don't like is they fill in game audio like however they want, not like with what a sportscaster actually said, but whatever works for their documentary.
Yeah,
I don't really like that part. You could just tell us in a like a sidebar, have some expert there describing what's happening in the game, and I would be into that more than trying to fake it like they're actually saying the stuff in a real game. Yeah. Because I've never seen a fake like that that's actually made me think that it's real. Like, you can pick it out really easy. Yeah. And I don't really like that part.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement too.
But I am willing to watch a few more episodes because it was entertaining and educational for me, especially. Yeah. there was I didn't watch it closely. I kind of had it on while I was cooking, so. But yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I like seeing all that behind the scenes stuff.
Is it just the playoffs? It's just gonna be the playoffs, or
No, they
No.
covered other. So like each episode, they kind of followed like two players, and normally they ended up like meeting for a game or like whatever. So like the first episode was Pasta and Nylander, who were friends growing up, 'cause they played together in Europe, and then obviously it culminates with the first round matchup in the playoff.
okay.
Did you see
Like-
in that first episode? So they had shown a photo of Pasta and his dad, like who had passed away when he was younger. I think they mentioned that in the episode, but the photo that they used was actually not of his father. It was like of his like a coach or somebody. Like someone confirmed later that was like not a picture of his dad.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was kind of too bad. But other than that, I really thought that portion of that episode was very interesting, going behind the scenes on like, yeah, Nylander and Pasta's relationship back when they were playing in Sweden, or was it Switzerland? No, I think it was in Sweden.
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, it was interesting. I did think that there were some fun behind the scenes moments. Obviously, having Jack Eichel featured was fun for me too. Seeing some of that stuff.
The second episode, I thought the description was funny. Hockey players are personified by one word: toughness. And two of the toughest players in the league, Philip Forsberg and Jack Eichel.
Yeah, they're not. That's not how I would describe them.
Is that
I mean,
a quote?
The episode is them dealing with injuries, like Eichel with this neck surgery, and Forsberg had like the blocked shot or whatever it was
Yeah.
that he was dealing with.
Which apparently he was like dealing with that the whole season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then the third episode was Swayman and Kachuk, and then Matthew Kachuk, and then they meet in the second round of the playoff. I gotta say, as much as I hate Kachuk, he is pretty marketable.
Oh,
Like, I was
for sure.
entertained. Like, he definitely like the cameras love him.
He was so entertaining, and like the little sections with him, his dad, and Brady, like when they were just at Matthew's house, and he was like Keith was cooking up steaks, and they're like just
Yeah.
messing around, playing a little golf or whatever. I'm like, oh my god,
That's fun.
this is pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like the Forsberg and Eichel episode and the captain's episode were my two like least interesting ones. Like the captain one, they had Trouba and Landeskog and Quinn Hughes. I thought the Quinn Hughes stuff was cool. Obviously, the Landeskog stuff too, like just kind of like because he hasn't played, he's been injured. He didn't play at all last year. That was interesting to see. But I wish they had done more about like. I mean, they showed him like in a gym watching the Avs game or whatever. It's like I wish I'd seen more about like what he had to do, like PT and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that as well. Like I thought we were gonna get a little bit more behind the scenes on like the status of his injury and just what like the day to day for him was during that regular season, because they kind of just like pushed through for like the Avs season, and like they would occasionally highlight things, and of course the playoff run as well.
Yeah.
Which is too bad.
And then obviously the last two episodes, the Cup or a Bust, like those were good. I mean, Cup final, the 2-part thing, the McDavid behind the scenes, and like the thing they've been advertising where he's in the locker room and they like pull the curtain.
Right now,
Yeah.
you gotta dig in. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
they do
was
the
great.
whole show just for those moments.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
and like, I'm sure as soon as like the series was getting like more interesting, Amazon was like, oh yes, here we go, like Game 7. Oh, this is exactly what we wanted. Like if it was just a sweep, it would not have been as entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
Might have
Also
only been
heard-
5
Give me the-
episodes.
It'll be the new Rings of Power.
Yeah.
I heard
Exactly.
that when Nylander was like quick prying in the first round matchup, when that like first happened and like the media was covering it, they were trying to like keep that like low key because Amazon wanted to be the one to like break that news.
Yeah, I remember like we hadn't heard what he actually said or like got it confirmed.
Yeah,
And then
we could like read lips or whatever, but like they were trying to like keep that because Amazon wanted to be the one to like release that.
Yeah, it's like I know he was wearing a mic that night. Like, why haven't we gotten the released
Yeah.
footage of what he said? It's like, okay,
Mhm.
now we know. But yeah, Sandroni, I would suggest continuing to watch it. I do think it was it was a little like underwhelming at some points just because of how much like just game footage and things, especially for Dean and I, and like knowing all of what happened as far as like how the outcomes of each series went and things like that. It's like, okay, that kind of holds the story together a little bit more than you would like, but
Yeah, I feel like it's made
it's
for
okay.
people like me that follow hockey loosely, go to a few games, know what's going on in the playoffs, but like don't really know the key players on each team and that kind of stuff.
I would
So
have to
I'm
agree.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have
I'll
to
give it a
agree.
watch. I think it'll help my hockey IQ.
That's your homework before you're not allowed on the
My
podcast
homework.
again until you
Yeah,
finish all 6
banned.
episodes.
Well, it's more of like a suspension.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we're gonna
okay.
quiz you.
Oh no. Not good at tests.
I didn't study. Yeah, I think about some of the stuff that I don't know, like about hockey and just the NHL in general, like little like rules in the game or just like outside of the game, where I'm like, I actually don't really know how this like scenario would play out, like according to the rules or just according to like waiver claims and just like just some sort of the minutia, where I'm like, I don't really know as much as I would think that I do. There's a
Did you
lot.
ever have the Sports Illustrated Kids edition, the magazines?
I did not.
They would have this like one,
All I
like
had was the swimsuit edition.
Sandroni.
they would have this one question on the magazine, like every issue or whatever, and it would be a sports question, and like some weird like thing would happen in like a football or hockey game, and you would try to like figure out what the ruling would be, and like it would be like one of the things like flipped upside down for the answer.
Oh,
And it's
that's
like, oh,
fun.
the ball is fumbled, and then like it ends up hitting a player and goes out of bounds, or like I don't know, some weird scenario that never happens. Like, yeah, that's kind of fun, but
Yeah, I'm sure that would be a great way to learn the game.
yeah.
Yeah, especially like hockey. Not much as far as like the rules. Like it doesn't take too long, I think, for you to learn the basics. But football or baseball, I think especially, are just chock with all these strange rules, lots of different
Yeah.
positions and things. So it's not as straightforward. Like I could imagine it being and there's still, especially with football for
Yeah,
me,
like the
a
first
lot of
time you
stuff I
see
don't know.
the infield fly rule called, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, see, I don't even think I
Yeah.
could tell you what that rule is. Like, I've heard it before,
Yeah.
but I don't think I could even describe it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it
I'm
is.
not gonna give you a quote, but I
That's
have an idea of what it is.
okay. That's,
I
yeah, you.
found I found one of the Sports Illustrated questions, but it's for basketball. Do you want to give it a try, Sandroni?
Ooh.
Sure.
The Manitoba Minx and the Calgary Cool are playing a basketball game under NBA rules. After a made free throw by the Minx, Calgary's Jean Giroux takes the ball to throw an inbounds pass. Giroux sees his teammate Luis Jenkins breaking away from his defender, but as Giroux leans forward, he accidentally steps on the baseline. Jenkins catches the ball anyway and dribbles up court for a basket. Manitoba argues that the basket doesn't count because Giroux stepped on the baseline when he inbounded the ball. You're the official. Is Jenkins' basket good?
No good. Didn't
No
inbound the
good.
ball the right way.
And that is what the
I don't know what the
answer.
call would be, but if it's so something along the lines of didn't inbound the ball the right way.
Yeah, it said no bucket is the answer.
Everything's just a
Yeah.
foul in basketball,
Foul
right?
ball.
It's either foul or
Like
technical
baseball.
foul or flagrant.
Yeah, flagrant
That's what I know.
or offensive foul.
Traveling, right?
Traveling.
Is that it?
Traveling. Double dribble.
I don't even know what the signal for double dribble is. Oh
It's
yeah,
this.
the
Ah.
waving
I
What's
knew
hands.
it
the
was the ref
symbol
move.
for? What's the symbol for a shot clock violation?
One.
No, it's
Oh,
that.
isn't that?
Who knows why?
Hmm. I think
I
Alright,
think
so
that's a symbol for something. I think it's that.
okay, we'll take your word for
patting
it.
the head. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's something in another league too, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Is that safety? No, safety is what's
Safety is they clap together like that.
something near the head.
Yeah.
So, what's the symbol for a 3-pointer?
Come
I don't
on.
know.
No. No,
No.
no. You put your hand up if he's behind the line, and then if it goes in, they count 3 points.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what the ref does.
Welcome to the Brett and
So
Dean learn basketball
Learn
podcast.
basketball. All this knowledge I don't use
yeah,
anymore.
we can have
Well,
Sandroni
I
and
went to
Brett on.
college.
We can talk basketball.
There we go. We'll get Trevor
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know anything more current than like 6 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I think Trevor
But
knows a
before
decent bit,
that,
and
I
Gifford.
could probably tell you quite a few players. I could tell you what was going on in the league. So, not so breaking
A
news.
little NBA time capsule.
Yeah.
And
That's fun.
Now
so
I mostly watch baseball and football. By the way,
football and hockey, where it's at.
Yankees end up losing in 10
Oh.
extra innings. They
Um,
they had them up. They were up for a bit.
Brendan, how would you rate the Prime series, like grade wise?
Huh. Um. I think I would give it a B.
I was gonna go with a B plus.
Okay.
How would that rate thumbs up, thumbs down wise?
Give it like a. Do I get to give it a scale? Like,
No,
and
one or the other.
Oh
it
well,
definitely gets a thumbs up.
it's got to
I'd
be an up
recommend
Thumbs
then.
it.
up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll watch it.
That's all I needed to know.
Lower resolution on the scale.
That's funny. Um, since we're, I guess since we're bringing up resolution, did you guys see all of the different score bugs that are being used this year? I kind of thought this was interesting because there's a lot of
looking
different
at-
services this year.
I don't know how I feel about Prime Video Canada. I'm like, it's different. Is it different in a good way, or are they adding more than needs to be there?
It's long. It is definitely long, and we'll probably throw the photo up. Maybe just keep it in the corner or something. Um, it's long. I don't think the Prime logo circle needs to be like that big, and same with like the area for where the logos for the teams are. I don't think it needs to be that big, but
That's a
it's
CEO
fine.
order.
Yeah,
It has
that's
to take up 1% of the screen or more.
that's
When
like
I
at
see the Nesson one with all of these, I'm like,
least three.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I do like the Nesson one. It just looks very bland with all the other ones having color and that one not.
Yeah, like I do like that Nessun is like kind of no nonsense, but I do
Also
think
took them
it would be fun to have
until
some
like
color.
yeah, for like 3 or 4 years ago, they finally added the shots on goal because they did not have shots for the longest
I
time. And I'm
remember
like,
that.
please add it.
I think a lot of people were saying that the MSG one would be the best if they just had shots on goal included in there. Like if you just had that, like it would be
I don't
be
like
fine.
the split color on the time and the period.
Yeah, I guess maybe having a white background for a hockey game might not be the best for that. Just it might have shots where it blends into the ice. Well, I don't know, maybe not. I'm watching a game right now, so I'm looking I'm looking at that one. But that's the Script Sports one, which isn't too bad, but I'm used to it.
I like the victory one. The time's nice and big.
The Victory
and
Plus,
you
yeah.
can see the score and you can see all the other details, but the important part's the time, really. because you kind of know the score if you're watching the game, and if you want the shots and stuff, it's there. You can look for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
trying. I think either the Sportsnet one or the
I like the
TNT one
Sportsnet.
are my favorite. Like I do like Sportsnet. It's just I've always thought it's a pretty clean look.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care for the sprawling ones like NHL Network and Bally Sports. Never cared for those where they're so long.
Yeah.
The NBC one also was very strange. I miss the old NBC ones
Yeah.
when they were more relevant.
Also, I feel like
I don't like that one. Like, what's even the score there? It's hard to see.
It's it's just cluttered.
Yeah.
I feel like they've also been trying to just make logos bigger and bigger. It used to just be like the full logo small and it looked kind of old school. So like, we'll just make it really big so you only see a bit of the logo and it's gonna be modern looking. And it's like bigger logo. And like, I don't even need the logo. Just put the team abbreviation. But
Yeah,
like, well, I guess if you're new to the sport and you want to see the colors, you're like, oh, is Pittsburgh? They're yellow. They're the yellow team against the red team. Okay. So maybe you just put a color, but do you need the logo? Like, I don't know.
yeah. Like I think the
All you
TVA Sports those logos are like
uh, uh, all you see
intrusive.
is the. It's all H.
It's just H. Yeah. But there's a lot of different score bugs because there's a lot of different services to watch games. So
Mhm.
that's any indication of how the viewing experience for the NHL is right now. But most of the games, you can watch on a couple different services, so it's not terrible. But yeah, it's tough again, like we've mentioned, to watch every game, especially for even just for your own team. But oh well.
Did you see that Gordle has finally ended? I know you did that for a little bit, right?
I did do it for a little bit.
Those who don't know, it was Wordle, but with hockey player names. And after, I don't know how many, they had to keep adding, like, it started with, what, 5-letter names? How many letters are in Wordle?
Yeah, 5.
It was 5-letter names, and then they probably ran out of any, like, ones you would know. They kept expanding it, and it got to, like, 10-letter names.
Oh wow. And it was still only 6 guesses?
No, you had more guesses after that.
Oh, okay.
But they finally finished after 1,000 puzzles. I didn't play it much, but...
Yeah, I didn't do it for that long, but it was kind of
But
fun.
you did that other one too, the
Puck Doku.
like Goku, yeah.
That one was fun, but also frustrating because if I didn't know like an active player that fit one of the descriptions, I wasn't gonna get it. Like there were just too much historical stuff in there that I'm just not seasoned on like the history of the NHL as much as I would like to be, especially when it comes to like player stats and just like older teams. So that one I kind of gave up on, but oh well. So those were fun. I did like doing those for a little bit. I still do just like word games every day. I do Wordle. Waffle just had its 1,000th board yesterday. I don't know if you guys play Waffle or if you've seen that one, but it's pretty fun.
Never heard of it.
I don't know if you guys would be into it. You're not really big word game guys, I don't think,
Not really.
but they're
Nope.
fun. I think I think that's what we've got. We're give you a quick score update on what's going on in the game. So it's 5-3 Blue Jackets lead right now. Looks like delayed
our
penalty.
game of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, who would have thunk it? Hey, Aston Reese scored his first with the Blue Jackets. That's fun. And Vegas is up 3-2 right now, about halfway through the third. And I mean, I guess these games will be 3 days old at least by the time you guys are watching / listening. But anyways, we'll see how the rest of those games shake out. And we didn't do, I guess since we're wrapping up, we didn't do a hat trick / pass the cup update on how things are going there. I still have not scored a hat trick, which has been lovely.
Funny. Hilarious.
Yeah, thanks. Did Owen get one? I don't think he got one either, did he?
I think he did. I haven't gotten the cup yet though.
Not yet. He hasn't gotten one yet. You haven't gotten the cup yet. Owen has it right now. So he has 2 points. I have 1 point, and everybody else has 0.
Did you like the stat I added, the near miss? I
Oh,
wanted to see how many people have gotten close, but not like if you're one answer off from a hat trick. Zach has either gotten a hat trick, gotten
Oh my
a reverse,
goodness.
or just missed by one.
That's crazy. I figured I would have a lot of near
Yeah,
misses,
no,
but
you
I just
just
have
you just suck.
I'm just terrible. Like I have
You're terrible.
no consistent trend of like you're almost there. It's just like you don't know what you're doing. that's really what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So that's great. I think I'm just never gonna win hat tricks. I won past the cup last year. That was fine. I had my year, and we're moving on. I'm gonna win football this year instead.
There you go.
I'm 6-0, so
More money in football.
yeah.
Lot
Actually, I think it would be about the same. I'm trying to think about the pot. I think I would win slightly more in fantasy football. So whatever, I guess we'll see. Nobody's gonna beat Gifford. I think again. He's always strong. His numbers have gone down to 40% instead of what was it 75 last time. But yeah, he's still really good. So that's what we got going on there. I posted the hat trick questions one day, and then I forgot to do it the rest of the times since then. So I don't even know if anybody interacted with that post on the YouTube channel. So maybe it just won't happen.
You can put this in the development section, but you could make an app.
Okay. Well, they already had the app. They had the NHL Hat Trick Challenge app, which is what this was all inspired by. If they just bring that back, then we could just have a league for the podcast, and then anyone could join it.
And you could be.
We need someone to develop the app.
Yeah.
We'll get Kevin Weeks on it. He was the head guy for it back in the day.
Kevin, you've been drafted to an important task.
Welcome to BLHP. Get going on that app. He's like, yeah, I didn't really develop the app in any way. I don't really know that stuff, guys. But I'm coming to you live from the server room here, and I'm about to turn on the Hat Trick Challenge app once again. Because I think I still have it downloaded. It's just like a dead app, and it doesn't do anything when you open it. Oh, well.
I love picturing him in a giant server room.
Me too.
Yeah. The engine powering the NHL. Trivia.
Yeah. Specifically.
What it's just over-unders, right?
Well, it's various different
Yes
things.
and no
stuff,
questions, or picking what team.
Has to have exactly two answer choices. Is pretty much the criteria, and it has to be verifiable.
Yeah.
New rule.
That was a new rule added this year.
Yeah.
We had some issues last year with a couple questions, so.
Well, we appreciate the creativity.
Yeah, we sure do, but dial it back a bit. It's been okay so far.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You guys got anything left?
Nope, that's it.
Nope.
Alrighty. Everybody, thanks very much. Subscribe if you haven't done so. We've already shilled a little bit. I did record my reverse retro ranking video, so I'm hoping to get things moving on that. I'm going to try editing it myself.
Oh, so now you're an expert. You got the tutorial.
I don't know if I want to set a precedent for that, but I am going to try to do it, and hopefully I get that out relatively soon. So if you stayed around this long, you got a little preview in what's to come besides our weekly episodes. See ya.
Later.
See ya. Do you have negative sound?
Noise canceling.
You just-
canceling.
Noise can't.
You just do. Science can't explain it.